At the time of recording this video, right now, I'm about to close a $5 million deal, a year-long contract with monthly shipment, and in terms of margin, we are talking healthy 6-digit in the company war chest. But during the entire process of me closing this deal, I couldn't help thinking like, what the am I doing? Am I back to square one? I'm a trader again. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to explain and give you a little bit more context why me closing this deal is actually a proof of failure of the model that I've been trying to build for the last couple of years. And then this context is going to be the basis for me to explain the recipe that I put together to build a commodity trading company that's worth $1 billion. And not I intend to use this recipe to build this company. I mean, would it be so cool if in 50 years my grandchildren I look at this video and say, oh look, this is what Grandpa did. He actually did what he said. No? I mean, it could go both ways. Like, look at this loser. This is my grandpa. He died alone, in debt, in his bed. Could go both ways. Anyway, let's go back 6 years ago. This is when I left my last job as a commodity trader. My wife was pregnant, the company was not doing well. I wanted to travel less to spend more time with my newly formed family. So I was like, okay, all right, I couldn't be a trader anymore. It's too much time involved, too much stress. So let's do something different. I worked for 3 different startups that was always linked to the commodity industry in one way or another. But honestly, I was not really made for that type of job. I couldn't get excited because we shipped a new version with 24 bugs solved. I mean, it was too dull, it was too boring. And even the moment of stress was not really stressful. I remember one day the website was down or the server was down, something like this. And everyone was panicking in the office. And I was looking at them and thinking, are they crazy? I mean, this is nothing. I mean, there is nobody on this website, so why do we care? I mean, why are all the people stressed? It makes no sense. When I was 24 years old, I was in charge of multi-million-dollar shipment as an operator. I had to make sure that everything went smoothly. Otherwise, a factory with 600 employees could stop, and then we have multi-millions dollars of penalty that we need to pay. I mean, that was really stressful, not like, oh, the server is done or whatever. Come on. All right, so after a while, I was like, this is not for me. Let's build what I know. Let's build a proper commodity trading company. But there is one caveat though. I shouldn't be the one closing the deals. Being a trader is extremely intense. You know, you always have to be on the phone. You always have to build report with your counterparties. And you need to fly left, right, lot of nights alone in the hotels. It's a very thrilling and exciting job, but it's also extremely stressful and demanding. And if I'm the one closing the deals, then I'm not really the one building the company that could close deals for me. And honestly, it's very difficult to do both. And also, again, as a trader, I did that job. You need to eat a lot of man. One example, a little story to exemplify the fact that you need to eat. One day, I had a client in a country that asked me to help them to issue a visa for his daughter. I think his daughter was like 16, 17 or something like this, and he wanted to ask us as a Swiss company to issue a letter of invite, so then he can go to the Swiss embassy in his country to get a visa, a Schengen visa. If you don't know, Schengen is like an organization. If you have one visa from a Schengen country, you can basically go to any other countries, and it's basically Europe, all right? So if you can get a visa for France, France is in Schengen, so you can go pretty much anywhere in Europe. And I was like, okay, no problem. It's actually quite common, you know, that people ask us for a letter of invite or something like this to issue visa, especially with the country that we used to deal with. I used to deal with. So we issued the letter, and then basically he went to the embassy, and basically the embassy said, look, man, we can give you the visa, no problem, but we need to have the ticket for your flight in and your flight out. And the guy said, no, I have no ticket. I want an open visa with multiple entries. And then, okay, so I had to discuss with the embassy and say, look, man, can you do that? Actually, it was a pretty wealthy guy in that country. And also, during the time of this little story, the guy owed us like 100K. I think something like this, 100,000 euro. or something like this. Yeah. So he owed us 100K that he had to pay, and I was really stressed about that. But I knew the guy at the big factory, so I hope that the payment was going to arrive one day. So especially if I help him with the visa, payment will arrive faster. And what happened with this visa is the Swiss embassy said, no guys, we don't do that, and we don't give open visa for 3 months, 3 years, or whatever. We don't do it. They can give us the tickets, the flight tickets, and then we issue the visa, but we don't do it the other way. And basically, when he heard that news, my client went berserk. He's like, what is that? Your country is insulting me. This is for my daughters. My daughters already had a visa from Spain for 3 years with multiple entries. So why Switzerland cannot give that visa? And my family is not good enough for your country. I feel insulted. Blah 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 blah. Whole story. Like I was like, what a man. What a I know you do that. You do the egotistical guy, like, oh, I'm feeling insulted by your country just because you don't want to pay that invoice, man. That's the real reason behind that. I know that, you know that, we know that, and I need you to pay, okay? So, what the down the line, listen to this, to solve this issue, because he felt extremely insulted by the country. What the hell? Listen to this. We have to organize a meeting of the ambassador of Switzerland in his country and him, so the ambassador could apologize. All right, we didn't say that to the ambassador that he needs to apologize, obviously, but this is what we said to our clients. Look, we organize a meeting, so the ambassador will apologize to you. All right, and what we asked to the ambassador is to explain to the guy why Switzerland do not give like 3 years long visa to a 16-year-old girl. So this is how we played it, man. So we had to organize that and so on. And after the meeting, the guy was like, oh, thank you a lot, Damien. Yes, I understand, blah, blah, blah. Like, he was so happy that we could organize this meeting with the ambassador. One thing, Switzerland is a very small country. His country is also a small country, so it was quite easy to get hold on the ambassador. And after this story, I was like, man, I can't do that. But I have a line. This is like above my line or below my line. I don't know, but I don't want to be like that, a bitch like this for a moron. That is just to show you, man, the type of that you need to eat. Anyway, so back to my idea. My idea was to build different commodity trading companies to tackle different niche trade flows, each time with a partner. And my idea is like, oh look, the partner is financially extremely involved in the business. So if there's a loss, he's taking the loss. All right, so it's not like an employee that, man, if he makes you lose like 1 million, he's just going to get another job and you are stuck with the loss. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to have like a real partner in each business, and those partners are going to drive the commercial effort. So those guys are going to be the traders closing the deal and so on. And I will be doing the risk, the finance, and obviously when there's a big partnership, I will show my face to say, look, I'm the Swiss guy, I'm the adult in the room, let's do this big partnership together, guy. No problem, it will go well. Thanks to my online presence and thanks to the Shipping and Commodity Academy, I was able to find young, solid business partner and also niche trade flows that we could tackle. So I got it going. However, the issue that I have now, that I only realize now, that this model is not scalable as I thought. Our companies are too small. I need to be extremely involved to get them going. I'm stretched way too thin, which means that I'm less reliable and we lose in speed, which are the two most important factors in a successful company. It's not good. It doesn't work as I thought. And also I'm realizing that it's going to take years for the firms to mature. My business partners are 10 years younger than me. So that means that they are not me. Even though they are extremely good at what they do, they are still not me. They still have a lot to learn to run a proper commodity trading firm. And honestly, I did not know that there was so much stuff to do that obviously I knew because I've been doing that my whole career, but I would have to teach. It would take years for them to be able to run it as I would. So one solution for that, I could partner up with more experienced people to solve this problem. But in that case, it will require more money because experienced people have trade flow that requires funding. And I thought about this solution. I could raise 10 million, put 1 million in 10 companies, a bit like a VC model. And if you run the numbers, you'll see it works. The ROE would make sense. But then the issue is that I would need to let other people use my name, to close more deal and so on, because I'm the face of the company. Then if they do, it will blow back on me, and I only have one name, so I cannot let other people use it. It's too important for me. So I cannot let other people use my name and my online reputation without oversight. So this realization was the final nails in the coffin of my multiple company idea. So what should I do? I thought a long time about that. What should I do? It comes to the point that my next move should be about what I want out of my life. And actually, it's also a good exercise for you. What do you want out of your life? For instance, if I want my life to be with minimum hassle, I could just start ingredient trading company. Basically the same idea, but I would trade only ingredient. And what is good with that business is that the clients are way more sticky. You know, once they have a recipe and they need your ingredient, they are less likely to churn. So the clients are way more sticky. Usually you can ask for 100% prepayment. That means that you don't really need money to start. It's a good business model. I'm pretty sure that in 2 to 3 years, I could work less than 20 hours a week and have a profitable business that make a lot of money. So I could do that. I mean, I have the skills to do it. But do you have the skills to do it? If you are not sure, click on the link below this video and you will land on the Shipping and Commodity Academy. This is my company where we teach physical commodity trading. Smooth plug, huh? All right, so now if you have like more ambition, you are like me, you have big ambition and you have the right set of skills. If you want to build a company that is worth $1 billion US, roughly in commodity trading, it means that you need to build a company that is going to do 10 billion in revenue. I mean, 10 billion is big. So how do you do that? Actually, it's quite easy. You need to be better than your competition at solving your counterparty's problem for 20 years. All right, let's unpack that. At its core, a business solves problem for its customer. In the case of a physical commodity trading firm, you solve problem for your buyers and your suppliers, all right, your counterparties. And usually the problem that you solve as a commodity trading firm is the risk. International transactions are extremely risky for a wide set of reasons, and usually your job as a commodity trader is to de-risk this transaction. Now, I'm not going to speak about the risk part of the job. A lot of videos that speak about that on my channel, so after this one, be my guest, go watch them. But let's keep this idea in mind for the rest of the video. You need to solve problems better for your counterparties. All right, so now let's speak a little bit about business theory. I did not know how to call this part of the video, so I called it business theory. I'm pretty sure there's a better name, but I'm not smart enough. So there are a lot of frameworks on how to analyze a business, what are the key ingredients to make a business successful, and so on. But the reality is way more complex and multifactorial. There's a lot of reasons, a lot of things that need to go in your way if you want to make a big successful company, and actually for a long time, because it takes time. So here I'm going to use a very simple ideas from Naval Ravikant that basically explain that in business there are 4 types of leverage: capital, people, code, media. Money, it's pretty straightforward. You can use money to make money. People, again, you can pay people, organize them to make money. Code, I mean technology. If you code the right software, you can code it once and then deploy it at an infinite amount of time. The same thing with media. You can create one piece of media, like this video, and 10,000 people will see it, even though it costed me only 1 unit, or I don't know, 1 unit of time, 1 unit of money to make the video. Then it could be distributed to infinite. So those are the 4 leverages in business. All right, according to Naval. So now if you use that idea and you look at the companies, the legacy commodity trading companies like Vitol, Cargill, Glencore, Mercuria, Gunvor, and so on, they massively use 2 of those leverage. Capital, they have infinite amount of money at their disposal, and people, they have extremely smart people that work for them. All right, they also have all the operating procedure, everything to make those people work well together. So they are extremely good. They maximize those 2 leverage, people and capital. Obviously, I'm pretty sure that internally they have like a very good system. So we could also say technology, code, but it's mostly capital and people. And there's one lever that they don't use at all, which is media. Have you seen those companies in the media? I'm pretty sure that you've seen it. It's because there's someone that told about them that they are in some type of dubious deal, or they've been caught bribing someone, or I don't know. If you have seen them in the media, it's usually not a good sign for them. So there is one lever that they don't use, which is media. So intuitively, using Naval SD, if you want to go and compete with those companies, maybe one way to do it by using things that they don't use, using media and code to its maximum, to basically try to have like a competitive advantage against them that already have like maximized capital and people. So this leads me to my first insight about media. You need to leverage media, social media today. I mean, obviously, who is reading newspaper or watching TV now? People that are going to die in 20 years. So we don't care about those people. So I shouldn't say that. But I mean, if you want to build a big, fat company, it's going to take 20 years. So you'd better start with the people that are going to be there in 20 years. Anyway, the idea here is to use media to showcase or to create trust that trading with you is safe. So that's the very first important thing that you need to do. You need to use media to show that trading with you is safe. Then the second important thing is actually this one, I guess it's even more important. This is something that nobody does. And if you can succeed at it, I mean, it's a banger, it's a key. You need to have a brand. Listen to this very carefully. Your company brand, or the people that is uplifting your company, like your founder or CEO, it must be status elevating to deal with your company. So what does it mean? It means that people want to deal with your company because obviously it's safe, so they will not lose their job if they deal with your company. That's extremely important. But then for them, it must say something about them to trade with you. And what it must say is like, I'm better than the other guys that are doing the job because I'm dealing with them. So it must be, yes, status elevating. Like your wife, she wants a Hermes bag. Why? Why does she want a Hermes bag? Not because it's beautiful, man. Honestly, it's just because what it says about her. So it should be the same with the fact of trading with your company. If you can make that happen, oh, it's a boulevard. It's a boulevard. You are going to be rich, man. You're going to make so much money. So now let's speak about technology. Okay, the big elephant in the room, AI. Obviously, everyone is talking about it. I guess if you are in any boardroom, there must be some plan of how to use AI to improve the company. So that's the big thing now, for sure. Now, all the legacy players, from what I'm hearing, are just trying to use AI to streamline their operation. For them, it makes a lot of sense. If you have like, I don't know, 10 risk officers and that you can have like some piece of software that could do the work of 10 risk officers with only 2, I mean, it's pure gain for the company. So you can make a lot of money by just making sure that your company is leaner and better functioning. This is where most of the money right now and most of the attention is going for the legacy player. But here is my second insight, is like, if you have like a good brand, you use media well, then you should use AI to sell. Legacy player will never do that. They will never use AI to sell. It's too risky for them. I mean, you can imagine you are an executive in one of those companies, you are making big bonuses, 10 million a year when it goes well as a bonus. You are not going to let run an AI to go speak with your customer or your counterparty directly. You are not going to do it. Right? So I don't care how good the technology is, it's not happening. All right, so I think this is how you should use this new technology, is to help you with your commercial effort at scale. And AI is finally there to do that. All right, so now let's speak about the lever number 3, capital. Obviously, the top commodity trading company in the world now have unlimited money, and they are going to use their money to basically buy assets to make sure that they are well placed in the supply chain and they can command bigger margin, and also to finance their own deal that the bank doesn't want to finance for whatever reason. So this is how they are going to use a massive amount of cash, which is funny, by the way, because now they are going to look like more like legacy players of the oil industry, you know, with well, with infrastructure and so on, or legacy player in the mining industry with mine. Then we have the other commodity trading company that do 1 billion in revenue. So those companies are big company, maybe they are trading arms of some producer or whatever, but most of those companies have a capital structure which is a private equity firm behind it, or a family. So it's like a legacy family. They have this company for like 100 years and so on. And those capital actors, they are not going to be okay for trading company to use millions and millions in R&D to try to develop a product that they are not sure if it will work. Also, it's important to know that usually those guys, I mean those investors, they live off the dividend of the company, because a commodity trading company is a great cash flow machine. So then you can make a lot of money, okay, all right, you can put a lot of money in your pocket at the end of every year with the dividend. So, and this is usually how they see their company, and they don't really want them to burn too much money in R&D to do something else, because they're not sure that the company is capable to actually grow that. Anyway, so when you want to solve for problem which is like market behaviors or something like this, they are not the right type of capital. And this is also my sense that only like VC type of money, so people that understand technology, people that are willing to take big bets to have big outcome, and that also have like a portfolio structure that way, could take those risks and take those shots. So if you don't have that type of money behind your company, I'm not sure that you are ever going to be able to disrupt any type of industry. Hello, are you still there? I know it's a lot, there's a lot, I mean, but obviously if you want to build a $1 billion company, it's not going to be very simple, right? There's going to be a lot of information. So yeah, this video is probably more complex than the others video on my channel, but follow it, man. Follow the recipe. I'm not telling you, when you have a shot of building something meaningful in your life. Or you can just go build the ingredient trading company and make a good living with less hassle. All right, so now let's speak about another extremely important thing if you want to build something meaningful, is trends. All the legacy players have been built in time of growing trends, and over their existence, they were even able to catch multiple trends. For instance, just in the recent history, we had like the collapse of the ex-URSS. So this collapse unlocked massive supply possibilities. So a bunch of traders went there. Then we had a new invention in the way of financing a commodity. So basically the bank could become the owner of the cargo during the time of financing. So with 1 million, you could trade for 100 million. So that was possible. It's maybe not like a technological invention, but that was like a financial invention that allowed a lot of companies to make a lot of money. Then we had the opening of China. China opened and basically gobbled up all the commodities in the world. So a lot of companies like grew off that trend. Then we had like a big recession with extremely tight lending restriction for commodity trading company and so on. So each time the legacy player rode these new waves and became stronger at the end of the wave, as all their competition retracted or died when the wave was over. And right now, at the time of recording this video, there are two trends that if you can catch them both, I mean, you'll be set. You are already selling in the right direction, which is maybe 90% of what makes a successful company. And one new trend that are just starting right now is a new commodity super cycle. If you don't know, like commodities market are extremely trendy, so the price will go up for like 15 years, 20 years, and then it will go down for 10 years and so on. So and this is what we call super cycle because they are quite long. And those super cycles are just basically a reflection that when the price is very, very high, a lot of people make new mines, new wells, put a lot of soybean, whatever. And then there's a lot of production, so price crashes, and then you need to wait for all the most expensive producers to get out of the market, and then price rises again, and then people see, oh, copper price is very high, so let's make a new mine. Then it takes 10 years to make those new mines, and this is why price skyrocket and so on. So this is why there's a long cycle, because it's a very long capex investment cycle that you need to have to change the direction of the market. Right now, it's my theory, but I'm not the only one that have this theory. We are in the beginning of a new super cycle where all the prices of all the commodities are going to go up. And I think the start of this super cycle was the 20th April of 2020. This is when the oil prices went negative for a day. So that was basically the end of the last cycle, and now we are in a new one. And there's something that you need to understand is that when the market goes up as a commodity trader, it's 2,000 times easier because your client is just in a hurry to buy because he knows that tomorrow price is likely going to be up. So they are more than willing to just to buy now, so they don't make you wait to close contract and so on. Also, when you want to break into a new market, again, 2,000 times easier when the prices go up because maybe you can have the play that, okay, you can secure a little bit of product with one supplier and then you can go see a big companies that usually doesn't care about speaking with you because your volume is so small that they don't care. But as the big company is scrambling to get enough product at the right price, then you have a shot to start a small trial with them and so on. And then they get to know you and they say, okay, man, we did 5 containers together, but we need to do 100. Can you do it? Oh, no, I can't, but I can maybe do 10. All right, let's do 10. And big buyers, when the market is going up as that fast, sometimes they are more than willing to open and purchase from smaller commodity traders, things that they wouldn't do in a flat or in a bear market. And also there's way more money. I mean, people are are just more excited. They see the price going up. There's more capital going in the market and so on. So it's just easier. Believe me, I lived both. I can tell you, everything is easier when price go up. So for the commodity part, this super cycle trend is extremely favorable. There's going to be a lot of volatility ahead. I mean, and it's very good for commodity traders. So I'm a firm believer of that. Then there is the second trend that we have right now, which is the AI trend. Obviously, I'm not going to speak about it too long. This is not my specialty, but I mean, think about that. ChatGPT 4 is only 18 months old. We are very, very early. All right, guys. So I hope that now I've convinced you. There's something to build here. There is like a new company that could worth billion if you use the right lever. If you really catch on the right trends, you could build now something extremely large. But now the question is like, okay, man, but which commodity should I start trading? Because commodities, I mean, what does it mean? There's like 2,000, I mean, even like, I don't know, 100,000 type of commodities, raw materials, ingredients. So how should we start? What should I look at? Which market should I pursue first? All right, guys, so we are now in the last part of the video. See, I'm going to give you my recipe on which commodity market you should tackle first if you want to build such company. So last part of the video, which market? So there are thousands and thousands and thousands of commodities, ingredients, raw materials markets, sub-market, sub-market, and so on. For instance, copper. I mean, you can trade copper ore, copper concentrate, copper cathode, maybe copper tailings, recycled copper, recycled cable copper, recycled copper alloyed. I mean, copper market is basically like a big market with hundreds of sub-markets within it. So the moronic way to look at it is, and I've seen a bunch of companies doing that, I'm sorry guys, but it's, yeah, you didn't get it. It's to think, right, I need to find a new market, like a new commodity which is growing. I need to find something new. For instance, hydrogen, green ammonia, rare earth, lithium, cobalt, I don't know, man. So something like this, you know. Obviously, man, it doesn't work. I'd say obviously, but okay. It doesn't work because those markets are not liquid enough. And usually those markets are going to require 100 billion of capex worldwide just to make it able to really trade it as a spot commodity. So it's not you as a new company with no capital to do that job. Just wait for the big guys to have hydrogen terminal or hydrogen stuff or big lithium mines or whatever. Just wait for them to build the market and then you can go trade spot. But you won't be able to do that. I mean, it makes no sense, man. So don't do it. And also don't choose a market that is heavily subsidized by government. For instance, any type of climate change market or whatever. Honestly, guys, let's face the fact. I mean, Europe is getting poorer every day and extremely fast. And I'm astonished about the speed of Europe going down the toilet. So I can tell you that Europe is the one pushing the most for sustainability and so on. But one day the population will say, man, I don't want to pay €1 more on my bread or on my pasta because of some carbon taxes or whatever, man. That shit, man. I'm struggling just to make ends meet. So that you will see, man, it will happen. And the same for the US, who also pushing like green agenda. But down the line, the US is a fossil fuel producer, and you'll see in 10 years with geopolitical tension eating up, the US dollar is going to be less and less recycled overseas. So they are going to go full on oil and gas production. Maybe they will do both, but maybe China will build a lot of clean energy because their big cities are extremely polluted. It's already happening. But honestly, it doesn't look bright. Huh? Anyway, I'll put it here. We'll see in 5 years if I'm right. So what type of market you should tackle? All right, so here I'm giving you the recipe. So please open your mind, listen to it. You want to find a market with sizable players on the purchase side, right? And completely fragmented supply side. So as a trader, what you can do is you can go strike few deals with the big players and look. So the play is this one. You gain the trust of a couple of big players that can take huge volume, all right? You strike some type of deals where you have an open bid with them, and then you go consolidate all the fragmentation of the supply side with your media and technology, right? That things that people cannot do right now, and there is still a lot of hundreds of small commodity trading companies that cater to all those small suppliers. Then you will be able to consolidate those markets with your company because of the new approach to commercialization, let's say. And this is really the market that you want to tackle first. Few big buyers, you make them trust you, and then you go consolidate the rest of the thousands and thousands of suppliers. That's really the key. You do that for one market, then you find an adjacent market and you just grow it bit by bit, always with the same approach. And then you tackle all markets that look like that. And I can tell you there is trillions of US dollars of market that look like that. So it's not really difficult to find. And then one market, you tackle the other one, the other one, the other one. You do that for 10 years, then you have like a really sizable company, successful sizable company. And then you enter in the last stage. So in the last stage, what I've seen people doing, and I think it's still going to be the same in 10 years, is basically you need to open your capital to sovereign wealth fund or stuff like that, you know. And basically the deal is pretty much simple. Hey man, go invest in my startup trading companies. We've been growing like crazy for the past 10 years. What we're going to do, you put a lot of money in the company, and then we are going to open industrial capacities in your country. But in exchange, you need to change the taxes or stuff like that. So basically, then you are the new hot company, even though you're not that young because it's been 10 years. But still, they see you as the new hot company, and then you are going to bring industrial capacities, and then you run the same playbook as all the other big players, that you use the government to give you some tax advantages, so then you can lock margin because of the regulation. And that's pretty much it, man. Yeah, I know that was quite a long and dense video, but man, if you want to build something that could be incredibly huge and with a lot of ambition, obviously it's not that simple. Yeah, please let in the comment below what do you think about this blueprint, this recipe to build the new big commodity trading company for the next 20 years. And if you know people that want to finance it, send me an email. All right, ciao.